Jerusalem is one of the most famous religious cities in the entire world. Jews, Muslims, and Christians all feel that the city is special and holy, which is why it was constantly being captured by different religious and ethnic groups during the Middle Ages. The city is located at 350 degrees 13 minutes east longitude and 310 degrees 52 minutes north latitude. It is built over two hills on the Judean mountains and is between 2,300 and 2,500 feet above sea level. Because it is built on hills, the city is very rocky with shallow soil. This prevents farming. The city is close to two large bodies of water. The Mediterranean Sea is 35 miles to the west of Jerusalem, and the Dead Sea is 16 miles to the east. South of the Dead Sea, the landscape of Israel changes from steppe to the Negev desert, which has many craters. In this area, the only large animals that can survive the climate are gazelles, ibexes, hyraxes, vultures, and eagles. Over time, many different religions and groups have fought for control of Jerusalem. The first group that ruled Jerusalem during the Middle Ages was the Byzantine Empire. During this time, from 527 to 565, there was relative stability and a steady flow of pilgrims. The Emperor Justinian reconstructed Christian buildings such as churches, monasteries, and hospices. In the year 614, the Persians invaded. They massacred people and destroyed churches, but in 629, the Byzantines recaptured the city. Then, in 638, the Battle of Yarmouk River began the Arab ruling of the city. This was only 6 years after Muhammad's death. During this time, the Muslims allowed Christians and Jews to live in Jerusalem, but they had to pay a special tax. The Dome of the Rock was also completed during this time. This was the first major Islamic monument. The next Muslim dynasty to rule the city was the Fatimids, who ruled from Egypt from 969 to 1071. In the year 1071, the Seljuk Turks captured the city. They decided to block Christian pilgrims from entering, which triggered the Crusades. In 1099, Christian knights arrived, led by Pope Urban II on the First Crusade. There was a short struggle and the city fell. The Christians would not let Jews or Muslims live in Jerusalem. Mosques were converted to churches, Christian culture became prominent, and French became the everyday language. Finally, Saladin, a Muslim leader who founded the Ayyubid dynasty, got rid of the Crusaders. Sanctuaries became Muslim once again, but some Christians stayed in Jerusalem and in 1333 settled in their own quarter of the city. In 1517, the Ottoman Turkish Sultan Selim I took the city and his descendants ruled the city for 400 more years. Jerusalem is one of the most religiously important cities in the entire world. Jewish people, Muslims, and Christians all have religious connections to Jerusalem. Many people from these religions make pilgrimage to the city to see the holy sites. Christians are connected to Jerusalem through Jesus. Many important events in his life happened there, including his crucifixion and his resurrection. The Last Supper is also said to have happened in the Holy City. In Jerusalem, churches did not appear until 200 CE. Before then, people had held services in secret in their homes because Christianity was illegal at the time. During the Byzantine Empire, most churches were basilicas, which are longitudinal structures. They had a central aisle-columned nave, an apse area containing an altar, and a three-paneled screen with icons on it called an iconostasis. Many important events in the Old Testament also happened in Jerusalem, so Jews feel that the city is important too. In 1000 BCE, David united the Hebrew tribes of Israel and Judah and made Jerusalem his capital. Over time, 2 Jewish temples were built. The western wall of the Second Temple, which was destroyed by the Romans in 70 CE, is the most sacred Jewish site. The architecture of synagogues usually reflects the architecture of the surrounding community. Although they all look different on the outside, most synagogues are very similar on the inside. They all have an ark placed against the wall facing Jerusalem, an eternal light called the Ner Tamid, and a platform at the front called a bima. Muslims think of Jerusalem as an important holy destination. In fact, Jerusalem is the third holiest city after Mecca and Medina. Muhammad is said to have ascended to the heavens from a rock in the city too. Mosques may look slightly different from each other, but they all share most of the same characteristics. The most important feature of any mosque is the mihrab, which shows the direction of Mecca. They also have a minbar, which is similar to a Christian pulpit, a dome covering a prayer hall, and a minaret that is used as a platform for the call to prayer. Since the geography of Jerusalem is not very good for agriculture, the economy depends mostly on service industries. Some examples of these are government, education, religion, and tourism. Tourists come from all over the world to see the city's holy sites. They buy souvenirs to take home, which fuels Jerusalem's economy and provides many livings for people. Another way that the city makes money is by making jewelry, clothing, and shoes. They also cut and polish diamonds, print and publish books, and create handmade goods. Manufacturing goods is actually the smallest part of the economy because the city wants to keep looking historical, and factories would not fit in with all the holy sites. Even though Jerusalem is just one tiny city compared to the whole world, it is still very famous. Most people know about the city because of its religious significance in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. People of these religions all travel there to see the holy sites. Jerusalem is well known now, but it was also very famous during the Middle Ages because of the Crusades. The Christians wanted to take back the Holy Land, and the Muslims disagreed with this. During this time, most of the world knew about Jerusalem and the Crusades that took place there.